What are you watching this week? Hello and welcome back. I'm Dr. B with Ready, Set, Grow, and on this channel, my goal is to share tips to help you on your financial and trading journey. If you're new here, like and subscribe. Be sure to check the description for some valuable resources. Hello everyone. Here are a few tickers I'm going to be watching this week. First, we have CNC. It has a 20-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame, also squeezing on the 4-hour time frame. The histograms are all cyan, and the EMAs are stacked positive across the different time frames. Looking at the weekly chart for CNC, we see that price action is above the 8 EMA, so an ideal entry would be on this pullback to the 8 EMA, which we did have on this candle. The histograms, you see they have shifted from yellow to cyan, which is a bullish indication. The EMAs are all stacked positive, neatly stacked, and the TTM wave is cyan and pointed upward. If CNC were to fire this week, it is likely to fire long, pending these conditions remain the same. Of course, market direction could impact if this fires at all. And what I mean by that is if we don't have market support, meaning the market happens to be negative that day, then it would impact how this fires and if it does fire. If it fires long, while the market doesn't really support a long move, then you won't see the momentum and volume that you're looking for. However, if we do have market support, this ticker fires long on the weekly time frame. EMAs are still stacked, histograms are still positive, TTM wave is still positive, everything is aligned on all time frames, then I'll be looking for an in the money or at the money call. And of course, I consider the spread. If the spreads are too wide, then I look for something that has a tighter spread. Another ticker I am interested in is SYY. SYY has a 49-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame, is also squeezing on the smaller time frames, fire long on the 1 hour. Histograms are all aligned. EMAs are stacked positive. The weekly chart for SYY shows that price action is right above the 8 EMA. EMAs are stacked positive. We have this nice yellow to cyan transition here on the histograms, and the TTM wave is pointed upward and is cyan. If SYY were to fire, it is likely to fire long, pending these conditions hold, and of course if we have market backing. And if it does fire long, I'll be looking for in the money, at the money call with a decent spread. Again, if the conditions don't hold, if the market doesn't support the overall move, if it doesn't fire, then of course I won't take a trade on it. It's important to note that these are tickers that I'm watching. None of this is guaranteed unless every single condition holds. If the conditions don't hold, then no trade or anything is made. I just watch them. You might be wondering why I'm not looking at Pepsi or Humana, and I'm not looking at Pepsi just yet because I don't like these dark blue histograms. I need these histograms to be cyan or yellow for it to be all aligned across the time frames, which could happen during this week, but as of right now, it's not on my watch list. And Humana has the worst spreads I've ever seen, so I don't even consider it, regardless if it meets criteria or not. Finally, the last ticker I'm going to be watching is UNH. UNH has a 22-dot squeeze on the weekly time frame. Histograms are all aligned, and the EMAs are stacked positive across multiple time frames. UNH had earnings recently. It beat earnings and ran on earnings, and if this weekly squeeze fires, then it could continue to push. Here's a chart for UNH on the weekly time frame. As you can see, price action is right above the 8 EMA, so a pullback to the 8 EMA is your ideal entry. EMAs are stacked positive. I love that it has this red to yellow shift in momentum, which is bullish, and the TTM wave is cyan and pointed upward. If UNH does fire this week, it is likely to fire long, pending we have everything else aligned. And if it does, I'm looking for in the money, at the money call. Okay, so let's recap. I am going to be watching CNC, SYY, and UNH to see if they are going to fire long on the weekly time frames. Pending market backing, pending all of the conditions are aligned across the time frames, and also looking at spreads, I'm going to be considering long positions if all of these conditions remain the same. What squeezes are you watching for this week? Let me know in the comments. If you like and appreciate my content, make sure you give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you next time.